Hi, my name is Maggie Baughman, and today I'll be talking about the roles of women in music videos. I believe that as a society, women are overly sexualized in music videos as well as the media. But what's the problem with this? The issue isn't women being in music videos or necessarily how they're dressing, but how they're being portrayed in them and the actions that are happening in these videos. These videos, women are being depicted as objects rather than individuals with goals, aspirations, and dreams. All in all, at the end of the day, this is just reinforcing harmful stereotypes that women have been fighting for centuries. But what's at stake? At the end of the day, in my opinion, women's well-being is what's at stake. The sexualization of women in the music videos and media aren't only impacting women themselves and their self-esteem, but it's also how women are being perceived by the public and what society then thinks is okay. It also gives society a view of, oh, well, I saw this in a video, so then women should act like this or women should dress like this. And oftentimes in these videos, especially certain genres, it's inappropriate to the fact where there is often I've seen like a male almost controlling the girls, hitting them, trying to do things in a sexual light. And one of the articles I found, and I kind of agree with it, says that's just encouraging rape culture and makes it seem, oh, well, if I do this in a music video, like that means it's okay. So then if I'm just like someone in society, like, oh, I saw so-and-so do that in a music video, I can do that and I'm not going to get in legal trouble. Because in this day and age, people do look for the media for what to do and what is okay and not okay. And furthermore, women being represented this way hurts other women and their self-esteem. It makes them feel like they have to submit to society's expectations of how women should look or how they should behave and just what they need to do to please a man or please society as a whole. I found that this topic is something that's heavily researched in colleges across the US, especially over the last few years. And one blog post that I found by USC that I really liked was, it said, these music videos can make women feel that being sexy requires adopting the external male judging gaze. And I agree with this. I think these videos kind of conform to like old stereotypes that men have the final say and that men are controlling and that men get to control women. And that's just really harmful to our society as a whole, especially to these younger generations who rely on the media so heavily to tell them what is okay and what's normal. So when looking at an issue like this, where does legal come in, industry actions? In my opinion, industry is not doing much in putting in regulations. I will say over the last few years, I feel like more videos have been tagged as like 18 plus or for a mature audience. However, that doesn't fix the problem of women being sexualized. Although I do agree it's a step in the right direction, as it would make it harder for younger audiences to watch. And I feel like although it doesn't change the fact that women are being overly sexualized, if we can delay when people see it, it'll be seen as less normal and less acceptable. And I feel like now's the time to really hammer down on that, as these future generations are even more like are good with advocating what they think's right. So if we can teach them this is wrong and help with advocacy, I think we can go far. And I would say in terms of locking down the media, it is working. As the more into a digital age we go, parents are learning the dangers of social media and how dangerous it can be to their child's well-being and development. So seeing women act in a very sexual light, and they're like 12, 13, 14-year-old girls and even guys watching this, parents are then realizing like, oh, my kid thinks it's okay to post on social media like this in very little clothing or send pictures like that when it's not. Another thing that I think the industry has done to try and combat this is they've tried to diversify their artists and actresses. So for a long time, it would be all Caucasian women, blonde hair, perfect body, size 0. And I feel like over the past few years, we've seen more body types and as well as more diversity in races. And I feel like with that, we've seen less intense sexualizing of women, but it definitely is still happening. Here's an example of a video. And then when we look at who was involved, I divided it 3 ways. It's kind of how I like to think of it. Music industry professionals, which they believe the more women are sexualized in music videos, the better their videos will do. And sadly, like, numbers do show that. So they're going to continue that way when they're making money. And same thing, I broke it down to female artists, and that's kind of 50-50. The women that are participating in these videos making money off of it are calling it self-empowerment and self-expression. However, other women artists believe when it's framed as women empowerment, but everyone's a size 0, perfect body, they think it just reinforces society expectations on how people think they should look. And I agree. And then lastly, audience and fans. So some fans appreciate it and watch it to see women in a sexual light, but then others are concerned of the effect on younger viewers. And then here's just kind of multiple articles about this and how people are concerned. And then I agree that this is a problem. I think we see women being overly sexualized in every media in tons of manners, but especially music videos. And then I think it just kind of dwindles out from there. We've even seen this on our own campus with a fraternity event where everybody like makes their music video and it's sexual dances on stage. And then I added some videos, and I think the one that's really important to note is the artist JoJo Siwa. She used to be like a children's pop star, and as soon as her Nickelodeon contract ended, she then started posting videos with very sexual actions in them. And this is kind of really when it like alarms parents of, we thought this was someone safe for our kids to watch, and now she's posting humping people and making out when 5 days ago she was posting bows and get ready with me's. So overall, this is just how the role of women in music videos is harmful to society as well as women as a whole. And here are my citations. Thank you.